The black market is by far the best marketplace in Albion Online. It's where most people make their money. But even after 8 years of being in the game, there's still people that don't know how this works. And they want to start profiting from this market. So today, that's exactly what I'm going to explain to you. Hi everybody, I'm Scrapped, and I have one question for you.
Bitch, you wanna make some motherfucking money?
The black market offers in some cases a huge profit margin compared to the other marketplaces, and taking your items through the red zone all the way to caerleon ends up being extremely profitable, and it marks the difference between making a couple 100,000 silver and making millions. I'm going to explain what the black market is, how it works, and I'll give you an example of me making some profit. So let's get right into it. The black market is located in Caerleon, the city at the center of the continent. Go to this part of the city and you'll find it. Once you get there, it works very similar to any other market, except you can't buy anything, only sell. The black market is the only one that buys items. You are selling your items directly to the game. And to explain why, I need to introduce you to someone. This is the black market dealer. He's gonna buy your items, and then, whenever a player opens a chest or gets loot from a mob, the dealer is going to place items inside there. The loot you get from dungeons and mob farming, and doing anything in the game really, comes directly from the black market. The black market dealer has a different stock of each item in the game. If I get a weapon from a chest, the stockpile the dealer has of that item is gonna go down, and to make up for it, he's gonna place a buy order in the black market, so people can sell that item to him and then resupply that weapon stock. The more people loot this item across the entire game, the more buy orders the market is going to place, because it needs to make up for all the items that are being discovered around the world. It works under the rules of supply and demand. The supply is whatever people sell to the black market, and the demand is how many people are opening chests, obtaining loot, and basically just playing the game. The buy orders get updated each time the game needs that item to drop. The price starts very low and then it makes its way up. Until somebody sells the item to the market, the price is going to keep going up. Now, before we get into an example of me selling something to the black market, here's a couple of fun facts and tips for you. When the developers made the black market, they realized that making this type of circular economy could be harmful to the overall item market in the game. So in order to make sure marketplaces don't get overflowed with low-tier items, the black market dealer is going to destroy a good amount of the things he buys, fixing the supply and demand structure and saving the game. That turns the black market into the only true way to siphon low-tier items and get rid of them in an organic way. Otherwise, we would have tier 4 capes flooding all city markets at 1 silver each. Another very important thing is that since you can't buy any items from the black market, you can only see the selling prices and the market stats of an item if you have that item in your inventory ready to sell. If you don't have it, you can't access that data, and you can only see the black market buy order. This means that doing market research on the black market it's not as easy as just looking up the item and you're done, because this selling price is the price the dealer is willing to pay at the moment. But if you have the item on you and you check the stats, selling orders can be several times more expensive than what the black market is paying. So in order to do market research on the black market, what people often do is they take one of each item they want to sell all the way to caerleon, and then check the full price detail of those items. That way they can decide what items give them more profit, and they start crafting, transporting and selling the item to the black market. And one final tip. If you are selling a lot of stuff here, be sure to check the listings at least once per day. The prices change over time, and maybe you are not selling your items because the price dropped below your selling order and you have to update it. Now that you know what the black market is, how it works, and how to do market research, it's time for a little demonstration. And I'm going to say this once. Don't just copy this example for yourself because you saw me making some money out of it. Prices change, trends change. Do your own market research to see what item works best for you. I made a video about it, so go check it out if you want to learn more about that. So, for starters, I made a list of items that piqued my interest, and I did some market research specifically on the assassin jacket, because I have the crafting skill for that item on a high level, so it's way more profitable for me. Leveling up your crafting skill is way faster than almost any other skill, so don't worry because you will get better returns in no time. The selling price across all royal cities was on average 1900 silver. It was being sold 272 times per day, and the best marketplace of all the royal cities for this item was the Limhurst, at 2262 silver. Now let's compare that with the black market. We see that the black market is asking to buy this item at 158 silver, and people are placing selling orders at 4,000 silver. This item is being sold almost 1,500 times per day. So compared with the best royal city, I get 89.3% more profit by selling here in the black market. So now that I know I'm going to make profit out of this, I went back to my city and I prepare myself. And because I want this to be special, I'm going to gather 10,000 hides and craft my items with the leather I refine. And I can hear you say, "Oh, but scrap, that's gonna take way too long, the market prices are gonna change while you go gathering." And yes, that's correct. That's why I started 4 days ago. Look at all that money! And it's going to be worth way more after we refine and craft with it. In your case, you can buy the resources if you want. I gather them myself, so I profit as much as possible. One might say that instead of losing money, I'm losing time. And time is money. But not in my case. I'm unemployed, and my time means nothing. So I'm taking 10,000 tier 4 hides, and also the necessary resources to refine hide into leather, which, as they are, have an estimated market value of 1.7 million. Now I'm heading over to Marc to refine these resources. Always choose the NPC with the lowest price. Once refined, those resources are now worth 2.5 million silver. So it's a 50% increase in value. Now let's head up to Deptford, so we can get that city bonus of crafting leather armor. Remember to buy a kraken salad or something similar so your crafted items get better quality and the crafting process goes faster. And now I'm going to craft the assassin jacket. Once crafted, it's time to transport these items to Caerleon. And some of you have asked me to show you a safe way to transport your items through the red zone. And the answer to that is the bandit assault. Every time that event pops up, hundreds, and I mean hundreds of players rush into the red zone. And your mission is to piggyback onto the horde of people going to Caerleon. But remember, do not flag for the faction warfare. The whole point is that in red zones, you can only be attacked by people who flag themselves as hostile or people who join the opposite faction. So if you are not flagged, enemy factions can't kill you. And almost nobody activates PvP flag for the bandit assault because that means more people can attack them. So take a ride with the ocean of people going to Caerleon and your items will be completely safe. Look, you see? Look at how many people do this. It's crazy. This happens like 3 times per day, so prepare yourself in advance so you don't miss it. And now that we are here, it's time to sell. Of course, always consider the tax and the setup fee. I'm going to place my selling orders 1 silver below the cheapest price. By doing so, I ensure that if the black market just so happens to move the buying price up, my item is going to be first in line to be sold. Be careful though, because everybody does this. So check your selling orders daily to ensure your items are being sold. Now we're back here 2 days later, and the question you must be asking is, how much money did I make? Well, let's check. I only sold tier 4 assassin jackets, not 4.1 or 4.2, so we can have a very grounded example. I spent 57,000 on refining resources, I spent 67,000 silver on crafting, I spent a bit over 300,000 silver in taxes and setup fees, and after selling everything, I got 3.2 million silver. So taking all that into consideration, I ended up making 2.7 million silver, which is way more than what I would have got if I did this in any other marketplace. So the profit is there, you just gotta be willing to grind for it. And please, remember, do your own market research and find the perfect item to craft and sell for you. The market is gonna change eventually, so you will be better off learning how to do this instead of just copying a recipe. I'm trying to encourage you to think for yourself. What I'm giving you are just the tools. Now go make some money your way. Also, I am far too crazy and unemployed to be messed with. So if I see people copying my thing, I'm going to grab so many stacks of that item that the price is gonna be at 10 silver forever. If I go down, I'm taking all of you with me. Don't hate the player, hate the game. And that is everything I have for you today. None of this is hard once you get the hang of it. So go do your own thing and see how much profit you end up making. Thank you so much for watching until the end. My name is Scrapped, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.